on. So my name is Kaleb Mayhue. I do go to the Beaver County Career and Technology Center for Welding Technologies. I'm a second-year student here, so I'm a senior in high school, as he said. So I'm going to talk about what made me want to explore the CTC. I started out when I was probably in your shoes, seventh or eighth grade. I started working for my dad for private construction. I did that for 7 years. I found out at the beginning that I really liked the blue collar field. I like working with my hands. So I found out early on that I wanted to start working in this field, and that's what really made me look into CTC a little bit more. Let's see, what else? What was it about welding that made me want to apply? Welding I found out about probably when I was in seventh grade or eighth grade. I found out about everything going on with the new cracker plant coming in, and the industry is just booming. So I found out about that, and that's what really sparked my interest a little bit more. I started welding when I got into high school, and I found out that it was a challenge that I really wanted to look forward into and make into a career. It was a very interesting thing to look at, a very interesting skill, a skill that could be used all across. How I see welding helping me towards my future. Like I said, the industry is very, very big right now. Welding is everywhere around the world, from Texas, the pipeline in Texas going all the way up to Canada. There's the cracker plant right here in our backyard. So I definitely there's work all over the place. So if I do become a valued welder like I want to, especially since I'm doing all this training and work, I definitely do believe that I could make a very valuable future out of this, and that's what really is making me interested in this. How my academics from Freedom has helped, and now makes more sense on how academics are applied to my career path. When I was younger, in fact, I definitely think Mr. Kelm can back me up here. I did not like math when I was in middle school. I just couldn't get a hand of it. I really did not like math that much.
Let me like jump in and kind of talk a little bit about that, because I've known Kaleb since he was in sixth grade, and I actually worked with Kaleb. And this is one of the reasons why this is phenomenal for you guys. Is I saw Kaleb exactly where you were sitting, and I was like, oh, Kaleb, man, you got to find your way. You got so much potential. There's so much you can do. And Kaleb didn't have confidence in himself. He didn't believe that he could do things. You know, he really kind of struggled. But, you know, seeing Kaleb now go through this process and be able to say, you know what, I can do this. I can get to where I want to be. But one of the things that he's going to talk about is how important it is right now for what you're learning in school right now has helped him be able to develop the career that he intends on making. And that's why it's so important for you guys to talk about that now. So, Kaleb, I'm always proud of you, buddy. Go ahead.
Okay. Great, thank you very much. I found out that math and science were a very, very important thing in my career field. I use everything from math, from multiplying, subtracting, adding, and dividing fractions, converting decimals. I find that very, very important now that I'm in the field that I'm in. I use it almost every time I'm at work, when I'm at Jadco. I use it when I'm at the steam fitters, whether I'm trying to figure out what the amount of gas I should use, whether I'm measuring pieces, using tape measures, very, very important in here. So all that math and science, definitely pay attention. It's all worth it. Very, very well used in here. For careers in general, there's money in any career. In the welding industry, you have to like to work with your hands and can be very physically demanding. You have to be able stay in one place and do things at one time for a very long period of time. When I'm at work, when I'm at Jadco, I'm a weld and fit employee there. So I have to stay in one place and I have to weld the parts and make sure I focus to make sure everything is right, everything is correct. Read the blueprint and make sure that everything I'm welding together is correct and up to customer standards. Attendance is number one, and you must have a very, very strong work ethic. That counts for wherever you go. Wherever you go, whether it's I work at Walmart every Saturday to be able to stay financially stable. I work at Walmart every Saturday to make sure that I can pay, also so I can stay busy as well. That's another big thing. Attendance is number one wherever you go. If you show up when you're supposed to show up on time, even early, that just makes yourself a name and also can help your future a lot. Very strong work ethic. It's very important that you, if you're at work, you keep busy, you stay busy, you make sure that you're always working when you're supposed to. Technical aspects of welding theory. It's not just about running your machine. You need to know the basic operations of your machine. Every machine is different, so you need to make sure what you're looking at and make sure you're able to problem solve so that if you have a problem with that machine, you're able to fix it. You need to make sure that you're running the right polarity, make sure you're running the right amps, make sure that you have everything hooked up correctly. Because even if you are the best welder in the world, you can't weld correctly if your machine ain't set up correctly. You should know how to, like I said, how to troubleshoot and problem solve. There is problems that I have to solve every day, whether I'm at work, whether I'm at the steam fitters, or whether I'm out in the shop. If there's something I run upon, there's always something that I always find something that I need to fix. I need to learn how to fix that very quickly. Let's see, memorization is important. Getting to know what everything is and how to run everything correctly is number one, so that if you can, so that when you go out into a shop, you know what you're talking about and they don't have to tell you everything. So it's very important, and it makes you look very important to them as well. So if we can switch over to the shop camera right now, if we could do that, let's see.
Okay, so Kayleb, I'm going to go ahead and switch over right now.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, so we're actually in the.
All right, so in the shop right now, what we're looking at is in fact, one of our Freedom students right now, he's using a oxyacetylene cutting torch. Right now, I do believe he is cutting metal material out for himself. He's cutting material out maybe for a project or even practicing as well, making sure that everything's he's making sure that the cut is very clean as well. Let's see. All machines are not the same. So there's a difference between stick, MIG, and TIG. So all the machines act differently. Some of them are made for different purposes, and also are comfortable for you as well. So to be able to find out the settings of that machine so that you can run correctly is also very important. So let's start off with stick. So go ahead.
Back, Kayleb. Switch back.
Yes, if you can, please. Thank you.
Okay, we're good.
All right. So we're going to start off with one of the basics that if you do get in the welding technologies program, you're going to be starting out with stick. So this is a welding rod here. This is a 70-18 1/8 inch welding rod. So this is one of the basic rods that you'll start out with, along with 6010. What happens is you will hook this up to your welding machine, and there's a clamp that you'll put this in, and if we could switch to the shop, this is a perfect example. One of our students right now is just running stick. I do believe that is 7018.
Yeah, so we're there, Kayleb.
All right, so right now, one of my peers is using, I do believe, a 7018 rod, which is what I have in my hand right here. What happens is it burns down, and he has a whole bunch of them right there. It burns down as you're running it, and it just gets shorter and shorter as you go along. It's very slow, but what happens is there is a flux that is covering the actual filler metal that is inside this. So what happens while you're—
Kayleb, can you hold that up? Hold that up a little more. It's hard for them to see. So yeah, right about there.
All right. So there's a filler metal inside of this. So what you see outside is just the flux. This is the protective covering. So as it melts down, it creates a gas that protects the actual filler metal going down. If you don't have this flux, which is a very, very important part of this rod, it'll create something called porosity, which is holes in your weld, which is a weakness. So let's see if I can run this out here. There we go. So this right here is the filler metal that we're using inside of the rods. This is the part that actually lays down the bead of the stick welding. Let's see if we can. MIG welding is what we use most of the time for. It's very important for any kind of welding you're doing, thick or thin. It's very cost efficient as well. That's why a lot of people like Jadco like to use it for their business. MIG welding is a, let's see, I think we're just going, that's one of our TIG machines right there. MIG welding is, all right, so I'm going to switch to the other camera outside. I'm going to show you guys the other two examples.
So, can you guys hear me all right?
We're good, Kayleb.
Okay, all right. So, let's see. All right, so what we have here is our MIG gun. This is a very important part in what we do here.
And Rodney.
Second way of welding. So this is our MIG gun right here. This is what we use for flux core, MIG, and TIG. We can use this machine for TIG as well. But what we have coming out of here is our flux. So we don't have a protective cover on this. We just have the flux core right here. This is the wire that we run through this machine.
Kayleb.
Yeah.
Okay, you're off camera right now.
Okay. What's that? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Kayleb.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? It looks like we need to move over to this camera.
Okay.
All right. Okay, now we can see you.
Okay, great. So right here we have a protective gas that we use to be able to protect our welding and also make sure that it runs clean, just like the flux on the stick. Okay. So this is the gas that we use to protect the welds to make sure that it's nice and clean when we're running it. Let's see. This is our last right here. This is TIG welding. This is what we use for our thinner metals right here. We use this mainly for stainless steel, and we also use this for aluminum welding as well. This is what you'll normally see welded on your car, on your truck, or whatever. This is what they'll use for that. Also, a little bit of MIG welding is integrated into vehicles. but this is what they'll mainly use at a repair shop or something. All right, let's go and switch over to the other camera.
All right, come on, guys, come on.
All right. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Those were all the different types of welding that we use here. And to fulfill your time, cleanup, and safety is a very important thing at the job site to make sure that you're running everything clean. It's also to you can impress your peers, you can impress your bosses as well. It's a very important part when it comes to working at an area. You want to make sure that your area is clean and that everything is fine. The last part I'm going to talk about is STEM-based programs and academics used in welding. Science, we use metallurgy, gases, electrical theory, and electrical identification. That's why science is also very important. Getting to know the melting points of metal and also making sure that you're using the right material for what you're doing is very important. Math, like I said before, fractions, decimal conversion, and reading a tape measure. Reading a tape measure doesn't seem like much of a big deal, but it is a lot in this program. To be able to measure metal and also be able to measure everything and make sure it's correct, just like you're building anything. It's very, very important. Artistic ability, steady hands to draw a line is very important. You'll be drawing straight lines and drawing lines on pieces of metal, and also to be able to weld, you must have steady hands to make sure that you're welding straight. And the last thing, blueprint reading, layout projects, and to know how to read a drawing sets you apart from everybody else. Learning how to read a drawing and a blueprint is very, very important to make sure that you're not just the one cleaning the parts or just taking instructions from somebody. Showing that shows that you have initiative to learn, and also makes you a little bit more important on the job site as well. Let's see, layout projects. So what I do at Jadco as a weld and fit employee, I fit a lot of products for customers from Caterpillar to other companies here in PA. There's a lot of companies that ask for customized parts. To make sure that everything is correct and everything is right for that customer is very important. That's why reading drawings and reading blueprints is another very, very big part in everything that we do here. I do believe that is it.
Kayleb, can you talk 1 minute? Because you just talked about you working at Jadco. Can you
Sure.
talk to them a minute about, I mean, you are literally, because of this experience, you've kind of have gotten a job in your career field. So, I mean, you got the good experience, the learning, but now you actually have a job in the career that you love. So maybe talk a minute or two about how that process and kind of how they might be able to do that too.
Absolutely. So my job at Jadco, beforehand, I had no idea about Jadco. I didn't know that, I didn't know about the company. It's out in Harmony, PA. It's right by Old Town Harmony. So I learned about that job when I first, when I got through my first year here at CTC. I was looking for another job at the time, and I found out about Jadco. Jadco was introduced to me by my teacher and also by another coordinator here. Just through my first year of being here, I was able to get a nice steady job, be able to make money in the industry, and also make money, get to know the industry as well, and get experience, personal experience. So if you have the initiative to work and your teachers see that, it's very big in your future, and help you out a lot, especially if you get your own job.
So, Kayleb, so this job you're going to be continuing on, like after you graduate from high school, you're still going to stay with Jadco, and kind of like that's going to be your job, your full-time job leaving high school.
Yes, that's the plan. My future career goal is to make it into the Steam Fitters Union, the local union 449. It's right in our backyard. The Steam Fitters HQ is actually in downtown Pittsburgh, and the technology center that I visit every Tuesday, Thursday to practice my welding lasts from 4:30 to 8:30. I get to gain experience there as well, and on the side to make money. I do work at Jadco every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then before I go to the Steam Fitters, I'm able to go to Jadco for 3 hours to be able to gain experience and make money there too.
Hey, Mrs. Kaplan had something she wanted to.
Okay.
Tell them about your senior schedule, how it works for you between coming to high school and working and going to CTC, so they know what they can look forward to in the future.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So I started this new program actually this year, being a senior. I started this out, and what I do is I get to school same time you guys do. I go to CTC in the morning. I come here, I practice my welding, practice my skills, and whatever we're doing today, and including my cutting day. I get to practice on my welding and making sure that everything is right. Let's see, and after that, I go back to Freedom. I go back to the high school, and each red and white day, I take one class. My red day, I take a math class, and my white day, I take a math class, and my red day, I take an English class. And then normally after that, I would go home, and I have enough time to get myself ready for work. And I normally work a 2 to 7 shift. That gives me enough time to work and get experience, and also make some money on the side, and then be able to come home in time and do my homework. On nights I have to go to the Steam Fitters, what I normally do is the same thing in the morning. I go to school, and then once I can leave school at 12 o'clock, I go home. I have enough time to get ready for work. I work a 1:30 to 3:30 shift, and then after that, I weld 4:30 to 8:30 at the Steam Fitters. And every Saturday, I do go to Walmart and work 8-hour shifts there as well. So I take the time with my family, and spend time with my family, and I have enough time to do homework and work that I have to do at home as well, since I do have to take care of my family as well.
And if I want to mention one thing to them that I should have mentioned before, this summer, if you notice, there were girls in this program. Okay, it's not a boy occupation. It's for anybody that can do this occupation. Not only that, if you are interested in working with your hands and look at the things that Kayleb did, there are a lot of opportunities for girls, females in the welding field. So if this is something that, as a female, don't think that, oh, this is something for guys. It's not. It's definitely a great opportunity for you.
Yeah, Mr. Kaleb, if you can you switch the camera? We actually have one of the girl students that we have here welding on stick right now. So yes, this is definitely a program that we welcome boys and girls. This is not just for guys. We do have 2 girls in our morning class right now, and they do like they are stick welding right now. They're first years, and then in the afternoon, I do believe we have one more girl there. So this is not just an all boys class. We are trying to introduce as many girls as we possibly can in this class as well.
All right, Kayleb, did you want to take any questions? You have time for that?
Yeah, I'll start taking questions now. If anybody has any questions, I'll answer as much as I can.
Okay, anyone want to know anything, questions? I mean, anything about, I mean, remember this, he's been in your seat, so it doesn't have to be about welding. It could be something like, how did he get to this idea, or when he got to the high school, what type of thing? So anything you guys want to know? Okay, looks like, Kayleb, you did such a phenomenal job that you took care of everything they might want to know.
Well, great. Another big thing I do believe in my success through the program, being able to be in the steam fitters, is another big thing is to believe in yourself as well. A lot of hard work and dedication has been put into my career and into my future. Being able to believe in yourself, taking challenges as much as you can, and believing in God. It's huge in my success, and I wouldn't be where I am right now without my family and friends, without everybody I've met through CTC and the steam fitters, and praying and thanking God every day. And Mrs. Kaplan as well. Mrs. Kaplan is another big part of this.
All right, Kate, thank you very much. Hey, guys, he's a senior in high school, and he put on a presentation that some adults couldn't be able to do. So you need to give him a big round of applause.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And Kayleb, there are some I don't know if you can see it. There are 8th grade teachers that are sitting around the room that I'm sure they're very proud of you.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Wow.
All right, Kayleb, thank you so much. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, so before, nobody told you to start talking in